My husband is dying and doesn't know that I'm pregnant. This is a complete fucking mess. I'm 39 years old, I have 2 teenage children, and I'm married to Steve, 40 years old. Sorry if it all seems like nonsense to you. The story is really confusing. Our marriage was basically a marriage of convenience. Steve and I were both divorced and had been friends for decades. This spring, Steve found out that he had a rare cancer, and the doctors gave him about 6 months to live. 3 years. Ago Steve found a daughter who was born before marriage, from a casual fling in his youth. When he found her, it turned out that his daughter, she was 10 at that time, let's call her Sarah, had been horribly abused by her mother, who apparently had some sort of mental breakdown. So he spent a whole year fighting for custody of a child he hadn't seen since infancy. And in the end, he won it. Then for almost 2 years, he worked on their relationship so that Sarah could recover and begin to trust him. And surprise, the bastard is dying. So our marriage was mainly for Sarah. We were told that legally it would be the easiest way for custody of Sarah to go to me after Steve's death, in case her mother tried to take her again. And yes, I 100% want custody of Sarah without question. I love her very much. She's already like a sister to my children and almost their peer. This girl has come a long way. She once didn't even have shoes. And now she's smart, funny, and overall an amazing girl. We just signed papers without a wedding, and Steve and Sarah moved into my house. All the kids knew what was happening and surprisingly accepted it, calmly. And yes, something happened between me and Steve. He confessed that he had been in love with me for a long time, and I simply reciprocated, though I wasn't 100% sure of my feelings. Everything happened quickly. Maybe I did the wrong thing, but I wanted his last months to be happy. And I really do care about him. In recent weeks, Steve has rapidly declined. He was mostly at home, except for short hospitalizations. Nurses come every day. He's on strong painkillers, so sometimes he's himself, and sometimes completely gone. He is literally dying right before my eyes, and it's fucking hard. And this week I found out that I'm pregnant. I'm not sure I want to keep the baby. I'm old, I already have 3 teenagers to take care of. I seriously think about not telling Steve about the pregnancy at all, but that seems wrong. Telling him also seems wrong. What tortures him more is the fact that he is leaving Sarah, rather than the fact that he is dying. And if he finds out that he is leaving yet another child, it will only make things worse. Terminating the pregnancy seems wrong. Keeping the baby also seems wrong. Everything in this situation is wrong. And I just want a cigarette and a bottle of wine. And you know, it's very hard to explain the relationship between me and Steve, but I'll try at least to sort it out for myself. We were friends. I got married too early. Huge mistake. By the time I divorced, he was married. When he divorced, his youngest child had serious health problems. Then Sarah became the center of his life. Somewhere in all this, we worked full-time. Buried 3 parents, made and received drunk late-night calls to or from our exes. But sometimes the calls from my ex were straight from jail, but it all came down to timing. There was just never enough of it. This year, being together as single parents, we were a great team. Steve taught my oldest to drive. Steve called me at work when his daughter got her period. God, that was funny. We always had each other's back. I started falling in love with him. It seemed inevitable. It seemed right. It seemed like we finally had time, but it turned out we didn't. And then everything suddenly sped up, compressed, as if someone had fast-forwarded our lives or the writers were in a rush to finish the season so they could go work on Star Wars. So yes, I love Steve, but the last months felt strange and artificial. I mourn more for the relationship we could have had, should have had, damn it, than for the one we actually have. So go hug your loved ones or whatever the moral is. I wrote. More than I wanted, and now I'm crying again. You disgusting. Update 1. I'm almost sure I'll keep the baby and tell Steve, but I want to sleep on it first. Besides, Steve already went to bed. Thanks for listening. I'll go wash the dishes, feed the cat, and go to bed. I'll read and respond to comments when I can. And I hope to update by the weekend. Edit. This morning I went to the gynecologist, and here's the twist. I'm not a month pregnant, but already more than 3 months. No, it didn't make me feel better. I'm furious that once again my choice was taken away. I'm tired of my life feeling like a train rushing at full speed, and I'm not in control. I'm tired of everyone romanticizing everything. Tired of everyone saying I'm strong when I feel like I'm just doing the minimum to not drown. I'll just be angry for a while. Thanks. So here's the conversation I had with the gynecologist. Less than 30 minutes ago. I'll retell it in my own words. Me. Old IUD isn't dangerous for the baby. Doctor. I took it out 5 years ago when it expired. Me. I don't remember that at all. Are you sure it was me? Doctor. You said then that you didn't need it anymore, because all men are assholes, and you were going to run away and join a lesbian commune. Me. Yeah, sounds like me. In my defense, 5 years ago, my youngest had a spinal tumor removed, and his father showed up at the hospital with a 20-year-old girlfriend. So yeah, maybe some memories from that period got erased. Update 2. Turns out I'm not 4 weeks pregnant, but about 15. The baby is a girl. She will be loved and become a wanted part of our family. I will tell Steve. You can keep writing comments. I like replying to them. But the decision is already made. Thank you all. Edit. I got about 5 messages saying that at this stage you can't determine the baby's sex. Well, go argue with the ultrasound doctor who seemed pretty confident in her words. Now I'm going to unload some word vomit on you. Sorry, last night when I was writing the post, I was just sad and scared. And then so many people spun everything into some romantic light that I got carried away myself and went to bed thinking that I'd keep the baby and everything would be wonderful and beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And in the morning I woke up kind of half crazy and in a daze, then found out that I'm much further along than I thought, and that reality just knocked the wind out of me. I'm angry that I never really had a choice. And I'm angry that people think it's romantic that I'm carrying the child of a dying man. And I'm angry that I came home ready to talk to Steve, but I couldn't, because Sarah was skipping school again. I understand that she wants to spend time with her father, but I had already made a deal with her that if she went this week, she could skip next week. I even arranged everything with the teacher. They started watching the 3rd season of Stranger Things, and I just want to scream at Steve. Why the fuck do you start a new show if you don't even know if you'll finish your sandwich? And of course I can't say that, because you can't yell at dying people and remind them they're dying. You can't yell, "Stop fucking dying," even when that's exactly what I want to say. And he's on meds, babbling that he's a fighter, and Sarah is 11. No, you're fucking not a fighter. You sat at a desk in an office for 10 years and got fat, and you never hit anyone in your life. I'm tired of everyone staying silent about the truth that life is 90% annoying maintenance of our stinking meat sacks and endless paperwork, and only 10% is something really important. And when that important thing happens, you're not even ready for either the good or the bad because you're exhausted thinking about bills and paying only half attention to what's going on. And then you remember, oh, that was the most romantic night of my life, just because you decided to remember it that way. When in reality, at that moment, you were only thinking about how to get rid of the tights that made your legs itch like hell. And did you feed the cat? Well, okay. I'll go buy groceries. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Comments. I'm shocked by your situation, but I have a feeling I don't want to romanticize it, that if you give birth to this child, and it seems you don't have much of a choice, you'll manage. You'll, be a great mom to all 4 kids. There will be good days, there will be bad days, but all 4 will grow up to be normal people. And in the end, that's really all that matters. Good luck to you. And I'm sorry that you have to go through this. Decide whether you're keeping the baby. If yes, tell him. He'll be able to record a video, write postcards, do anything that you can later give to the child when they grow up. It would be Amazing to know that even if my father died before I was born, he loved me so much that he did those things for me. Author. Yes, I'll keep her. Of course I will. I'll tell him, we'll make videos and all that stuff. Has anyone else seen a movie or a show where a mom tried to write postcards to her twins for every birthday before she died? And she couldn't finish them because it was too painful to think that she'd miss all of it. Yeah. Now I'm sad again. It will be hard for both of you, but you must go through it. Your child will have a connection with their father through those postcards or videos or whatever things you make. Otherwise, they will only have photos and your memories of him. But if there are real messages from the father, the child will feel that they are growing up with him in some way. So how did it go? Was he happy? Author? I snuggled up to him, showed the ultrasound picture, and said, "This is our little girl," or something like that. He was silent for a minute, and then he said, "She will have a sister." It wasn't what I expected, but I agreed. Yes, his daughter will have a sister. Then he asked if I could handle it, and I said yes, I could. We lay in silence for a long time, and that's basically it. Today he is quiet, but sometimes he's like that. I need to tell the kids and ask him about recording videos or letters or postcards, but I want to give him some space to think, so I can't really say much about his emotional state yet. Tomorrow is my last working day before I go on unpaid. Family leave, so in the coming days or weeks we'll have more time to talk. Final update. Not sure if anyone will even check this post, but for those who stumble upon it in the future, Steve died a few days ago. We're doing okay. It's fine. I'm holding on. Paperwork is a complete nightmare. But I did get the laundry done. And yes, to everyone who read my comment about Steve and Sarah watching the 3rd season of Stranger Things and not warning me about the ending, there's a special cauldron of water for you. That was traumatic. What fucking irony. Thank you for listening to this story till the end. Watch our previous videos, which you can see right here. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if for some reason you haven't done it yet, and good luck.